Palm Tree. You know I had to come through with that review. Two of my favorite dudes, two good partners of mine, both Palmcast alumni. I'm talking about All Hail Y.T, representing Killeen, Texas via Delaware, and Anthony Danza representing Seattle. They just put out their new collaborative album called All Hail Danza. Let's get into this one. Now what you have here is two guys from opposite coasts coming together for a smooth 90s style project with 80s samples, okay? I'm talking about production from DJ Manifest, Nic Wheeler, Tavaras Jordan, Freddy River, and 80s Baby. Now, if you think about the overall vibe, I mean, you're kind of feeling like, you know, a Vice City meets Paid in Full. So think about your favorite gangster movies from the 80s and 90s, but, you know, put some modern twists on it, man. You know, just bars from All Hail Y.T and Anthony Danza about hustling, getting money in numerous ways, and it's just music you can shine to, you know, and have a throwback nostalgic feel. Okay, this is some real grown-ass man rap, you know, in an era of things that are very disposable. This, however, is the opposite of that. Now, Anthony Danza and All Hail Y.T definitely do come with their own unique dope styles, but you can't help but kind of hear a possible influence of like old Jay-Z. I'm talking like In My Lifetime, A Reasonable Doubt era Jigga, and then like the It Was Written Nas. I've always kind of compared All Hail Y.T's flow to kind of sounding like Nas. You could kind of tell from that texture in their voice, you know what I mean? Now, the layers to this album, there's some references, some reoccurring themes from Danza's previous work. Like he put out a project this year called New Jack Danza, and he has that same, you know, plug talk over the phone skit going on this one, right? So I like that reoccurring theme that they have going on. Now, to specifically speak on some tracks off of here I dug, I gotta shout out BBS Boys, man. Takes me straight back to the 90s just with that, you know, that Paid in Full or Jodeci sample. You know, it's just perfect to ride to, man. It just makes you think of those classic Benzes. You just want to pull, you know, like an old school Benz out of your driveway and just take it for a spin around the city when you're hearing this. Keith Sweat, by far, is my favorite song off this project, you know, just because I love Keith Sweat music, baby. Make it last forever. You know what I'm talking about. It's all just smooth player shit to ride to, man. It makes you feel like you know, really getting money by any means in the 80s. One of the final tracks off of here is Places to Go featuring AJ Snow, and you know, I like the dynamic that he brings to the track too, you know what I'm saying? He's from Dallas as well, so, you know, it's a double Texas thing. Another one of my favorite songs off of here is Ready Rock, because, you know, just the way that hook is laid down is just marvelous. Hats off to whoever did the vocals on that part. And then the first song after the intro, Risk and Reward, you know, it just steps in with, you know, a dope presence. I like Asia Soleil's vocals that she lays down to. It just adds a nice sophisticated touch. And now there's one more song off of here that I cannot not mention. It's Shmoney Dance, Game Ain't Free. That one is definitely got to be a hit. So at the end of the day, man, if you really want to feel the magnitude of these two MCs who have really been grinding on their own independently for years now, putting out projects and touring, but coming together to, you know, do their whole own wave, you gotta, you know, tap in with All Hail Danza. You know what I'm saying? They've both worked with Jay Worthy. You already know Jay Worthy put out the Bomb Project with Larry June this year, 2 Peas in a Pod. So if you really want to continue that hustler player energy that they brought to the table, I really suggest that you go bump this All Hail Danza. You know, I think back about over the years and think of, you know, all my favorite collaborative rap duo projects, like a Only Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon and Ghostface, to like anything that felt put out, you know, Murs and Slug came together to do, or, you know, like a Run the Jewels, or like I already said, 2 Peas in a Pot. All Hail Danza needs to rank on that list going forward, man. Classic nostalgia, you know, dope selection of beats, make you feel like an 80s D-boy, you know, with that 90s thing going, with that New Jack swing kind of twist to it. And hey, hats off to these dudes, man. It's a pleasure to be tapped in with these brothers, and it's a pleasure to, you know, be able to bring my thoughts to the table on this album. If you listen to All Hail Danza, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Also, let me know what else I got to review. Peace, love, Palm. Shout out to All Hail YT. Shout out to Anthony Danza.